once you begin to start to remove weird expectations that you have for every single conversation you have with a girl, you stop sweating every word that comes out of your mouth. But I get it. I understand. Like, I've been that guy where it's like, oh, maybe at a job or maybe in a social situation, you see somebody, you're like, oh, they're attractive. Like, maybe we could turn this into something. Maybe we could segue into something here. But if you're fixated on that and that becomes your primary mode for interacting with somebody, first of all, that's just not how organic human nature works. You know, I try to think about the organic way that I met my current girlfriend, and it wasn't just me coming straight out the gate being like, wow, like she's cute, like I'm gonna go for her, like this is gonna be my girlfriend one day. Like, no, I just came into it, decided to be friends, and it started from a really, really wholesome place. And then once there was time to let things marinate a little, to let the friendship start to build, that's when I started to kind of take on different subjects and get to know her deeper and kind of audit her for compatibility before forcing it in my head. Now, next up, second, you have to audit your actual accessibility. Now, what does that mean? It means being honest with yourself for a second. If you spend 90% of your free time locked in your room, doom scrolling, or walking around in public with your noise-canceling headphones jammed inside your ears, you don't necessarily have a dating problem. You probably have more of an accessibility problem. You know, you've locked your own front door, you've pulled the shades down, and you wonder why nobody's coming inside to talk to you. It's because if you're giving off and you're radiating the vibe of like, hey, this person has a wall up. This is somebody who doesn't keep doors open. He locks windows. He's heading straight forward and there's no amount of warmth to him. It's like, how are you going to attract flies with vinegar versus honey? I mean, that's an analogy. I don't even know if that applies here, but bear with me. It's like if somebody gets a prickly vibe from you versus a warm vibe from you, it's going to change the way that they get that first impression. And then you might be getting in your way without even intentionally doing so. And you know, I feel like most guys probably mess this one up because they live on one of two extremes. Like they either live on the end that is like, oh, I'm the type of guy who I keep my door completely shut. I'm the type of dude who I just go to work, I go to class, I go to the gym and I just lock in, like I'm doing the great lock in. But at that point, people like that make it practically impossible for another human being to interact with them. You know, they walk with their head down, staring at their phone screen. They wear giant headphones even when they're just walking through a grocery store. They avoid eye contact with everybody and they don't make small talk. Not with the cashier, not with the people in line. They just look at the cans of soda that they're checking out with and they don't try to make more out of situations. You know, they don't say what's up to people in their apartment building, and they treat any unexpected conversation like it is a direct threat. And then they go home, sit on their computer, and then they kind of wonder why, like, oh man, like I haven't made a friend in years. I haven't gone on a date in years, you know, but ultimately you can't be surprised that you're not finding a relationship in that scenario when you've built a brick wall around yourself and posted a do not disturb sign. It's just how it goes. And listen, like I definitely do keep my door closed sometimes unnecessarily. I totally understand. This doesn't have to be an overnight change where all of a sudden you become an extrovert, because for me, I feel like I'm a little bit more towards the middle. I'm not very extroverted, but keeping your doors open, it literally could just mean making yourself accessible to the world. It could mean taking your headphones off. It could mean looking up from your phone, putting your phone in your pocket on purpose, just if anything, just to take in the world around you. You know, it can mean socializing with people, even if they're not women, even if they're not somebody you're going to date, and just trying to make yourself a more magnetic person. You know, it could mean saying yes when your friends invite you out to an event, or maybe it could mean if you feel a little tired or you kind of just want to stay home, you still try to make some sort of an effort to make that day work in a social way. And then God forbid, if you take part 1 and part 2 and then multiply them by each other, which is a huge mistake a lot of guys make, where most dudes ruin their chances every single time that they open a door, it's when they're expecting a reward on the other side. It's like, oh, you know, they walk into a coffee shop or a gym or their college lecture, they see a cute girl, and their brain immediately goes into overdrive. It's like, oh, let me just run all the algorithms in my head, all the scenarios in my head. They think, all right, here we go. Maybe she's the one. What's my angle here? How do I approach her? And then you go over and you try to keep your door open, and maybe there is a hangout, but then maybe you're let down on the other end of it when it's literally just a hangout because she just wants to be friends. She has a boyfriend, or maybe she's not into you. But like, bro, like when you think like that, you're putting an insane, unnatural amount of pressure and emphasis on a regular interaction. Like, I know, I get it. Like, if you're courting somebody or you're really looking for a relationship or you really like somebody, you have expectations, but you don't want to turn saying hi or asking a simple question into something that's super high stakes. You know, it should never feel like a life or death performance. You shouldn't be put in a scenario where you're overthinking it so seriously that your voice gets tense and your body language starts to get stiff, because it's just unnatural. You know, and she could sense that. Like, somebody can really sense when another person's being weird and they have heavy energy from like 1,000 miles away. You know, you don't want to come off as needy and outcome dependent before you've even had the first impression. I guess what I truly mean to say is that your goal when you leave your house every single day should never be like, I need to find a girlfriend today, and put all this crazy immense pressure of the world on yourself. Your goal should literally just be, I'm here living my life. I am open to talking to people. I have open arms to every person until proven otherwise, and whatever happens, happens. I'd like a relationship, but I sure as hell don't have any control over that other than just loving myself, and then in turn somebody will see that and they will love me. If you end up having a cool 2-minute chat with someone, that's great. If you don't have to talk to anybody and you just get your coffee and leave, that's also awesome. And when you truly expect nothing out of these interactions, you can't be disappointed, you don't get nervous, and you don't come off in a weird, desperate way. You just become a chill guy, and you're easy to be around. And you might find that somebody will get that vibe from you, and maybe it was a cool, innocent chat. All of a sudden, they'll linger, and they'll want to talk to you longer. You know, if you meet a girl, and maybe she's in your class, or she's at your job, or in your group of mutual friends, or maybe she's in public, and she happens to be nice to you, immediately, you don't want your brain to go into absolute overdrive. Because you'll sit there, you'll catch massive feelings over time, you know, within 48 hours. Then you start checking Instagram, you start rereading text messages with them, and, you know, talking about her to your boys like she's some mythical creature that you discovered. And then you build up this massive, elaborate, one-sided story in your head. And of course, she's only human. She doesn't have any idea about any of this. And then, you know, she might have just thought you guys had a cool 5-minute conversation about music. But in your head, you've already planned out the next 2 years of your lives together. And that's just not a good place to be. So after 2 or 3 weeks of silently obsessing and overanalyzing everything, you might reach a breaking point, and then you do the classic feelings dump, and you send her a massive wall of text late at night, or you pull her aside after work and make some dramatic confession about how much you like her, and you're not gonna like what happens after that if she doesn't feel the same way, and you'll know if she feels the same way. You don't want to end up putting somebody in an uncomfortable situation, making yourself look foolish over what is normal human emotions that just need to be sorted through. I'd say all in all, at the end of the day, getting a girlfriend or getting a girl to like you or just going on dates, it's not about finding some type of like a magical shortcut or spotting the right person at the right time and reeling them in. As much as media and movies and TV shows and social media makes us really feel like that's it, it's really a lot more anticlimactic. You know, you're not running a pickup script or trying to trick somebody into liking you. It just comes down to execution on the basic constructive fundamentals on how you get to know somebody in the first place and how you get to make yourself an open and interesting person. Just audit your lifestyle, audit how you live, keep your doors open to the world, keep your expectations at zero, but really give credit to the people that surpass them. Build yourself a main storyline that you're happy with in your life, that you actually care about, that you could actually speak to, and just treat women like they're anybody else, because they really are. They're not any sort of bit special more than your friends. Yeah, guys, let me know right now in the comment section, when's the last time that you guys went on a good date? Do you have any dating advice for anybody watching the video? I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. And if you guys want to get more interaction with me, I do have a Discord server linked in the description. But overall, guys, don't sweat it too much. It is what it is. I know it's so easy to fixate on getting in a relationship as a guy, especially as you get older, but just take it one day at a time. We're all people. You know, nobody's above anybody else. Overall, just take care of yourself, focus on your own story and your own life, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care.